Hi there, guys. I'm in Rio now. Well, first of all, my flight taking me into Abu Dhabi was delayed because someone was sick on the plane, basically. And after we had pretty much just gone from Melbourne to Western Australia, we had to turn back around and come back to Perth just after that. And yeah, drop off this person. So that meant that our flight was late into Abu Dhabi. And the only flight available to get me to Sao Paulo was the next day. So Etihad put me up the night in a hotel room with buffet, everything included. It's quite a pretty nice hotel room as well. I stayed in Abu Dhabi for the night and then visited this. The Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque in Abu Dhabi. Took a taxi to there because that was affordable. Figured that was the one thing I could do for the night there, and it was really amazing actually. Yeah, really amazing. After having a really good sleep in Abu Dhabi in the hotel, I got on my next plane to Sao Paulo. Yeah, I arrived in Sao Paulo. I had about an hour and a half or 2 hours until my next flight that was going to take me from Sao Paulo to Rio de Janeiro. I found my gate and then I was waiting at the gate for a while, and I was confused because the number of my flight on my ticket wasn't the same as the one that was on the screen. So I waited for a bit longer, and then I asked someone about it, and they said, "Oh, plane late or something." It's really hard. By the way, it's really hard in Brazil if you don't speak any Portuguese because not many people really speak any level of English. The plane was late. Apparently, it was getting quite late. It was maybe about half an hour, 30 minutes after my ticket said that we were meant to board. So I asked again. They said, just wait here, just wait. And I asked the attendant, and she said, just wait. It's okay, just wait. And I showed my ticket to this woman who was standing next to me, and she sort of looked at it for quite a while, sort of scratching her head and pointing at the different numbers and stuff and going, comparing it to hers. And she said, you go talk to her again. So I went and talked to the same woman who had been asking him what was going on, and she was saying, just wait. And she told me, "Is that Deutsch?" And that sort of didn't really make sense to me. But then the woman who I showed my ticket to ended up being really nice and totally saved my butt because she came over and she talked to attendant in Portuguese. Then she sort of used sign language to say, you need to go to gate 2. It's changed. Yeah, your flight has changed. I was like, oh, really? Okay. I was like, thank you so much. And she's like, go, vamos. And yeah, it turned out I had to run the entire length of this wing of the airport, to run 100 meters to get to my flight. The flight was waiting for me. I felt like such an asshole. Yeah, so I got on my flight, flew into to Rio, and then the next adventure started because I had to get a taxi from the international airport to my hotel room, and it's very different to anything that you'd ever encounter in Australia because as soon as you sort of exit the doors of the airport, there's lots of people saying, oh, taxi, you need taxi. Everyone's trying to get your business, basically. They're all pretty much trying to rip you off as well. A lot of them will say 130 real. So one guy was like, 130, and I had read up online that you're meant to haggle. So I said, no, 50, which was probably ridiculously low to start with. And then eventually this one guy haggled him down to 70. And he's like, oh, okay, follow me. But what I should add first is that this first guy that came up to me, he said, oh, you come with me, you come in my taxi, we go. I just didn't have a good feeling about this guy. So then I started following him to his taxi. We were walking for quite a while. He was just staring ahead. I didn't have a good feeling, so I just kind of ducked in one of the airport doors to the left and sort of lost him and just went to the toilet and then came back out. He was nowhere and started haggling with a new guy. I don't know. I think you just have to trust your gut when you're in a foreign place, sort of thing. Ended up haggling with this young dude for 70. I'd set my bar at 70 real. I thought that was pretty reasonable. He said that he'll do it for 70 if he can find another person to go with me down to Copacabana, which is where I'm staying. So we got in his taxi and he sort of drove around the ring road. He sort of parked in this random place and then got out of the car and just kind of walked off. He's like, you wait. And I was like, shit. Just sitting here in this sort of back street by myself in a taxi. All the windows are open in a completely foreign place. And it seems crazy already. And I thought I was about to get rolled. I honestly thought, this is it. I've been here for 10 minutes, not even, and I'm about to get rolled. But I didn't, luckily. But yeah, he eventually took me to my hotel room. I paid him 80 real. We did argue in the car. He kept trying to take it back up to 130. He was saying, official airport price is 130. And I said, bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. That's just the kind of gut instincts that you have to trust. And it ended up being legit. I paid 80 real for my taxi. 20 real is worth about $5. So the $80 taxi was about $20. Yeah, so I got to my hotel and it was stinking hot. It was about 30 degrees. And then the next day as well, I pretty much stayed in my hotel room the entire day because it was so hot. It was like 40 degrees, I think, with full humidity. The day after that really hot day, I organised to catch up with a couple of the people who had already arrived that were also going on the boat. It was Zoe and Matt. So we arranged to meet down on Copacabana Beach along one of the life guide tiles. They have numbers on them, so the whole way along Copacabana Beach. Yeah, we met up down at Posto 5. That was really cool. We got beers, hung out. We walked along Copacabana Beach, around the point to Ipanema Beach, and had a swim there. Paid for some chairs and things, and an umbrella for us to sit under, which is really cool. Vendors are walking along the beach selling things like beer, ice cream. That was really cool. The water was beautiful. Did a bit of body surfing, loved it. Then we went and found some lunch. Got nachos, massive nachos for like $6 or something. And that pretty much filled me up for the whole day. It was huge. Then we visited Zoe's hotel and Matt's hotel because both of their hotels have a rooftop bar on them with a pool and things like that. So we sort of had a swim there and hung out a bit. It's really cool. Got to know each other a bit better. Had some pretty alcoholic drinks. Pretty drunk by the end of that day, which is very unusual for me, but it was good. It was good. Good to sort of relax a bit in an unfamiliar place. We went down to one of the parlors or the bars on Copacabana Beach. I kind of just sat there and had another beer and relaxed sort of thing. And then all went back to our hotel rooms. So woke up at like 6 a.m., had a little workout. I'm trying to have a workout every day at the moment, just just to feel good. Then had a buffet breakfast here at my hotel room, and then came back to my hotel room and went straight back to sleep. So had a 2.5 hour nap, which was great. And then got on Facebook to see what Matt and Zoe were doing, and there's another person apparently who's in Rio now, Jack. We all collaborated and arranged to meet down at Posto 4 on the beach. And it's cool to meet him as well. Cool to meet another person that we're going to be sailing with. And we caught the metro into the city. And there's some amazing buildings. Very cool. I haven't really seen many buildings like that. And we sort of walked around, visited a few places, saw a thing called the Mosaic Staircase, which is really cool. There's lots of people on it, and got some lunch. Then we visited this huge cathedral that looked quite obnoxious from the outside. You see what I mean? the inside itself is actually quite cool. We left there and walked through the city towards the docks area. We saw the naval base, and we talked about, wonder if that's where the Young Endeavour is going to come in. And then after that, after having a bit of a look there, we went into this art exhibition that we could see. We figured out where we want to go next. There's a really big park in sort of central city, so we thought we'd head towards there. It was very cool. The ducklings walking around, some kind of squirrel thing, I don't know what it was. Yeah, all just sitting there together. It was really cool. It turns out the park was closed. We couldn't get in. Bugger. And we decided, it's getting kind of late. We'll head back on the metro back to Copacabana. And we went to go down this one entrance into the metro. We saw a woman had gone in there just before us. Then she came back up and she said, she started talking in Portuguese to us. She's saying like, no, don't go in there, And we're like, oh shit, we're going to get stabbed if we go down there. So obviously she had come back out because she didn't feel safe. And she said something like, me safe, you, no, you get stabbed. So thankfully she told us that because who knows what could have happened if we went down there. It could have been quite bad. So she led us across the road, the main road, to the main metro entrance and, guided us through there, showed us where to go, which was really nice. And then we got the metro back to Copacabana and went down to the beach for just some drinks and stuff, and met up with another crew member, Jess. She came down, and then we went to Matt's hotel and went up to the rooftop again and got caipirinhas. Really strong that time. And I ended up just being really, really drunk, tired, so I ended up going home a bit earlier, caught a taxi, and I think they partied on for the night. That's the basic update of where I'm up to now. I've learned some basic Portuguese, just to be able to tell people that I don't speak Portuguese. So, eu não falo português. I don't speak Portuguese, and that usually sort of sets things up, where you can sort of use body language and sign language and gesturing to things on the menu, rather than just kind of staring at each other, being like, "What?" It's crazy. It's really interesting being in a different country where they don't speak English. It's really eye-opening, really eye-opening. I hope everyone's good back home. Hope everyone's well and safe. Know that I'm all good. All right, thanks guys. See ya.